Hey everyone, in today's video, it's a little chat video. I am going to show you what I'm working on and just to also give you maybe a few tips on working with plaid. Trust me, I am no expert, as I will show you, but just some things that might help you in your sewing journey. Okay, so let's get to it. So this week, as far as what I'm working on right now, I'm working on this. This is called the Linda Tunic, and this is the pattern. It's from Angela Wolf Patterns, and there's some options, different options there for making this. I have made this before, but this is the first time using a plaid fabric. It's kind of like a flannel, but it's actually not a flannel, but it feels like it. It's very, very soft. And so I just wanted to give you some tips here about working with this type of fabric. So like I said, I am no expert on plaid, but this book here is a great reference. It's called Fabric Sewing Guide by Claire Schaefer. And in here, let me just show you briefly. She's got a whole section on plaid. So this is definitely something worth checking out and taking a look at if you are interested in making something with different types of plaid fabric. But generally, something like this, I did the small pieces, like the placket here in the front and the collar. Those things were done on the diagonal because it can be very difficult to try to match up those small pieces. Some people like to do that. I'm not one of them, so I just put it on the diagonal because to me it's just a very interesting, it's a more interesting look, and I like the way it looks. Now, so I want to show you the back. Now, this is not done, but here on the back you'll see it's not perfectly matched up, although it actually looks pretty good. You've got what looks like this bold green stripe across the shoulder, and then another one here that actually matches up really well. It's just not matched up on the, was it the vertical side? When you have gathers, that kind of thing can be very hard to match, and probably near impossible to match up completely. But so when you read about plaid, working with plaid fabric, one of the things that you'll see over and over again is you'll choose something, as far as the pattern, choose a pattern that does not have a lot of seams. The reason being, it's just much harder to match up those seams, match up that plaid if you've got something that has a lot of pieces, and that means a lot of seam lines. So it's going to be a lot more difficult and more time consuming. It's not going to be impossible, but it will be more time consuming. So that's something to keep in mind if you are interested in doing something like this. I love the look of plaid fabric. I love the plaid shirts and all of that. Oh yeah, I'm wearing this. I made this. I'll show you what that is later in a minute. But yeah, so plaids and checks, things that you might need to match up, those things you'll want to keep it simple. Now, another thing that many people will do is use a walking foot, and basically it looks sort of like this. If you're not familiar, you attach this in place of the regular foot that's on your machine. This one is more of a general walking foot. This one goes on my brother machine, and it also fits on my Husqvarna. I have a separate one for my Bernina that I use. You might want to use a walking foot, or try that, because then your layers of fabric are going to feed evenly. I actually did not do that with this, and I didn't have any problems with it. That's also a tip that some people will use when sewing with plaid fabric. Now, like I said, I love sewing. I love the look of different plaids and things. This is another piece of material that I have that I think would be really nice for some kind of a jacket, and I've got maybe 2 yards of this, so I'm trying to figure out style of jacket I want to make, but I think that's actually what I bought this for, is to make a jacket. So that hopefully will be coming up at some point, but I'm not sure yet which pattern I want to do with that. As far as things that are coming up, projects that I'm planning, next month, February, is Black History Month, so there is the Black History Month Pattern Designers Challenge, I believe is what it's called, and there is a hashtag that you can follow over on Instagram. It's open to everyone all over the world, and it's really nice to participate in something like that, or even if you don't sew something from a black pattern designer, you can actually learn about some other designers that you may not have been familiar with. So that's like a fun kind of a challenge. At the very least, I do like to follow along because they also give information. The people that run it, Natita, who is So Natural Dane on YouTube and on Instagram, she is running it, and so that's always a fun thing just to see what people come up with. So that, I think, is pretty much it for this video. If you all have any questions or comments, leave it down below. Let me know what you all are working on and how you feel about doing anything with plaid. I know there's like a fear, which I totally get, but I also believe that you can improve if you don't actually try. So that was my reason for just going for it with this. But let me know, do you guys, any of you sew with plaid regularly, or plaids and checks, anything that you have to match up, or you feel like you need to try to match up the print on it? Let me know in the comments. Please give this video a thumbs up if you would, and I appreciate all of you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.